Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Conscious Caregiver Conversations. We are just going to wait for Samantha to jump on. Hello, welcome. We are just waiting for Samantha to jump on, and we are going to get... There she is. All right, let me see here. I'm going to get... There she is. All right, friends, we are going to get... There she is.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, my Australian friend. How are you?
I'm so excited to be here. Let's hope the internet holds out. Happy evening for everyone over in the States.
Yes, it is evening here. It is a rainy evening in South Florida. And good morning to everyone over on the other side of the world, because as you will find out, Samantha and I are exactly on the opposite side of the world from each other, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it is very magical that we have this connection, and yeah, I can't wait to dive deep. Should we just start diving deep? I see a few people that are on, which is beautiful.
Yes, I'm so excited. We have some people joining. Samantha is frozen at the moment. These are the technical difficulties that can happen. Let's see here. We really just want to introduce ourselves and kind of tell you what we're all about here. But let's see if we can get Samantha unstuck. We may need to jump out and jump back in, which we hate to do, but Samantha is such an important part of this beautiful thing that we're doing here together. So thank you for bearing with us as we navigate the technical difficulties that is technology, but it looks like she's back.
Hello, I'm back. And just for everyone listening, I do live on a farm, so I have no idea what just happened there and if I'm possibly doing something not quite correct. But I'm happy to jump in. Sorry I was out. But if I do jump out again, Jenna, I'll get you to just keep going and we'll figure something else out. But yeah, let's get this underway. Jenna, tell us a bit about you and what's your experience in caregiving and why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, I just want to let everybody know that this is a Conscious Caregiver Conversations. And, Samantha and I are on a very similar spiritual healing journey. So I have already casted a circle of light around this beautiful container and saged and palo santoed, and there's tons of beautiful alchemy coming into this container right now to just really support us on our mission. And, in the future, I will probably do it just like our beautiful mentor Echo waits for us all to get on and does it. But I have taken care of that already. So what that means for those of you who may be new to this kind of work is that we are truly working in a protected space. We have Source Creator God, our core healing teams, our guides, our higher selves that, are overseeing and making sure that this container stays super clean, super blessed, lot of beautiful alchemy coming in to support our mission, and really keeping anything that is not for our highest good out of the container. So that is super important. And as we, go through in these future conversations, we're going to dive into more of that and how you can use that, how that is available to you to be able to protect yourself in the healthcare space. But for now, just wanted to let y'all know that's all part of it. And, you take what resonates and you leave the rest. But I think it's super important. It's all about just entering the space consciously and with intention, which is what we're doing here. And so, as Samantha said, my name is Jenna Colelli. I am a registered nurse over in the States. I have been a registered nurse for about 12 and a half years now. And it was not my first career, it's my second career. I actually have a very interesting kind of pathway to how I got into nursing, and the things that I did before that, which have been a large part of my healing and things that I've had to clear, and being able now, several years later, to be able to recognize the patterns and why it took me so long to get where I am today, which, is all going to come out in these beautiful conversations as we share more and more with you each week. But I am currently a nurse leader. So I am actually the director of an education department for a 235-bed acute care facility located in South Florida. And my clinical background is emergency nursing. So I started out as an ER tech in a level 1 trauma center in Pennsylvania, and have to give a shout out to St. Luke's University Hospital in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They raised me. I always say that they raised me to be the nurse that I am today, and they are also the oldest nursing school in the United States. So that's super cool. Very proud of that. And then after graduating nursing school, I shifted from being an ER tech to an emergency room nurse. And then a couple years into my career, and moved to South Carolina actually for my husband's career, I ended up moving into the ICU and being a CVICU nurse. So my background is primarily open heart, emergency room, trauma nursing, and shout out, because here in the States, it's Emergency Nurses Week. So if you're listening, you're an ER nurse, it is Emergency Nurses Week. So shout out to my fellow ER nurses. It is also Perinatal Nurses Week, which when Samantha tells you more about herself, you'll know she has a passion for matrescence and, helping the new mom. So cheers for Perinatal Nurses Week here in the States as well. But yeah, so that is primarily my background. And then it's kind of funny how I got here, but ultimately I've always had a passion for education. So was a clinical educator, and now director of education for my facility. And one of the things that I think is so beautiful too about what Samantha and I are doing is that, I think as a bedside nurse sometimes, as a staff nurse, it's easy to look at leadership like, oh, now they're leaders and they don't understand anymore and they don't have the stressors that we do. And that's true. We don't have the same stressors, but we do have stressors. And, we in our own way are navigating the same challenges. It just might look a little bit different, but we are navigating similar challenges. And so I think it's awesome that, Samantha is in a situation, which she'll talk about in a little bit, where she is providing more direct patient care. And I'm not. I'm much more removed from the bedside, but we can still come together as a community to really move forward with more of a conscious and intentional perspective, and it's going to benefit everybody. And it needs people like the frontline nurses and leadership to come together and start having those conversations and start moving differently and speaking differently and approaching situations differently for this global change to really occur. So that's super exciting. Um, and just very quickly, one of the reasons that I am here today and have this passion to speak to you about what it means to be a conscious caregiver, and what that looks like and sounds like, and all of that, is because 3 years ago, I experienced a profound episode of burnout. I was working at the bedside at the time. I was a nurse leader on the unit. So I was like a permanent charge nurse kind of situation on night shift, working in the CVICU, and did not have the tools that I have now, did not have, really the space at the time to really integrate and embody what I was learning, and like massively burned out to the point where I was really planning on not returning to the profession. And because of this work, and because of so many beautiful mentors, especially our mentor Echo, and what she has taught us, and the things that we, have integrated in our lives because of her teachings and the profound transformation that integrating these things in our lives has created, I was able to return to the hospital setting. And I think that that is a profound testimony for what this work can do, because, in 6 months' time, I went from I can't be a nurse. I'm gonna kill somebody. Like, truly, this is how I felt. I'm being very transparent because it's the truth. I really was afraid at that point that I was not skilled enough, knowledgeable enough, safe enough to take care of patients, to going back to the hospital, recognizing that it actually returning to the hospital was a part of my healing, and now really wanting to teach everybody that I know. I teach the nurses at my hospital whenever I get a chance, and I'm super excited now to be in this space to teach and guide and mentor and really hold a space for as many people as possible, that this stuff works. It works. And it's not that the system has changed. And this is so much of what we're going to talk about. It's not that the system necessarily has changed. It's that I've changed the way that I approach the system. And it's powerful. So with all that being said, yes. I am going to turn over the mic, if you will, to Samantha, because I want her to share all about herself and her background and why she is here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Jenna. And I must admit, my internet connection must be a bit funky, but we're just gonna roll with it. And I could listen to you talk like all day about this, and that's actually a big part of what sparked the reason that we want to share these conversations, is because they're so powerful and they actually deeply, deeply impact your, I think, both professional and personal lives as well. So a quick introduction. Yes, I'm Samantha Feast, and based over here in Western Australia in what we call like a regional centre, so a rural area about 200 kilometres from our capital city of Perth. And it's quite a busy hospital. I actually don't know how many beds, sorry, because I work in the operating theatre, so we have 3 operating rooms. That's what I know. And I've been a nurse for almost 14 years now, and mainly worked rurally. I have had some city work, so I feel like I'm not very specialised within theatre. Often we get specialised within a specialty, especially in theatre. And I do also want to put it out there that, yes, like Jenna works more in education and a very high leadership role. I'm very much on the floor. I work with direct patient care. But also I want to extend that what we're going to be talking about and sharing can be used in so many different professions and in so many different areas of nursing. I know that often perhaps ED nurses or theatre nurses or ICU nurses get a bit of a rap about being certain types of personalities. And in all honesty, we're dealing with such similar challenges and such similar feelings, similar areas of burnout, being exhausted, being overwhelmed, being unsure, not feeling supported, all these things. And that's why the American health system is so different to the Australian one. Yet Jenna and I have so much that we have similarly felt and experienced, and from that place that we can teach. But anyway, Jenna's going to finish this live in a couple of minutes with the intention for this group and these conversations, because I think that's really important. We value everyone's time. We know that as a health professional, as a caregiver, your time is extremely precious. But just to finish off a little bit more about me, I'm a mum to a son and a daughter, a stepmom to 3 boys. We live on a small rural property, so we live on a farm and have animals and all bits and pieces. I am also hugely passionate about postpartum care, like Jenna mentioned. So I also work with women separate to being in an acute healthcare facility. I also work with women postnatally to support them. I volunteer in the community, and I know Jenna also holds, she didn't mention, but she holds many different seats and professional, I don't even know how to describe it, Jenna. I'm running out of words. But you also do many things, basically, is what I'm trying to say, outside of the nursing profession. So we come very multifaceted. And I want you to know that if you feel like you don't have enough time, or, you're very busy and shift work and night shift and all those sorts of things, make time for this. Make time for these. We're going to keep these conversations, 30, 40 minutes at the most, and they're going to impact your life dramatically. Trust me, because Jenna and I are both examples, like true examples of that. I've also hit several stages of what I call minor burnout, not to the point of being, too extreme, but hit the stage where I actually don't want to do nursing. I don't want to go back to nursing. I really don't like my job. I'm not feeling fulfilled, all the things. And that does impact on our capacity to be able to care for others and to be the kind of nurses and caregivers that we desire to be as well. So I'll leave it there. I think we've both got our profiles on here, so you can follow our profiles to get more information, a bit more of a feel on us personally. But for now, I'm going to hand it over to Jenna and probably leave it with Jenna, just in case I do drop out, hun, about the specific intentions of this group, because this woman talks fire and she talks truth. So I hope that today you actually can take these few minutes, take this on board and share with your nursing colleagues. We need to spread the word far and wide. So I will now get off my high horse and bring it on to Jenna to really share, what is it that we're trying to do here? Why is this so important? All yours, darling.
Oh, thank you so much. You are too kind. You are too sweet. And, it's so fun when we do these because she, for some reason, likes listening to me. And I really love listening to her. Just that Australian accent. I just love it. So this whole thing really is about starting this global movement. And, if you do this work at all, or you have, just this cognizance of, energy and everything else, like I said, Samantha is literally on the other side of the globe from me. And there's just this beautiful energetic connection. And within that, with, me kind of being one pole and her being the other, it's just this whole beautiful idea of how we're able to really cover the expansiveness of the globe. And I just love that visual because this really is about creating a global movement of this whole idea, this mission of bringing consciousness to healthcare. And the challenge for all of us, no matter where we're located on this planet, is, like I was saying earlier, we look outside of ourselves, we look at the system, we see all of the issues and all of the things that are not benefiting, staff, are not benefiting nurses, respiratory therapists, PTs, like physicians, anybody, and not, of course, benefiting the patients, which is why we're here, and we look outside of ourselves. We blame the system. Well, if this would just be better, if that would just be better. But when you start doing this work and you start understanding that the system is just a projection of our collective reality, then you start to see that by shifting ourselves and healing ourselves, we will shift the collective, which will shift the system. The system will have no choice but to shift when the collective consciousness shifts. That's what makes this work so beautiful. And when you see it that way, you start to take that personal responsibility. You start to step into that radical responsibility and say, what can I do to shift myself? And one of the things that we say in this work that we do is when you heal yourself, you heal the world. Now, here's the beautiful thing about that. You don't have to feel so responsible for everyone else. You can just really focus into coming back to self and what do I need to clear out that's no longer serving me? What density am I carrying? What negative vibrations am I carrying? You know, it's all part of the human experience. So there's no shame or judgment or guilt about feeling anger or frustration or judgment even. We're living a human experience. This is all a part of it. But we can start to have that awareness and we can start to say, okay, I'm having this moment. I'm angry. It's okay. I need to express. I need to do whatever it is to, you know, allow to move the energy. But then there comes a point where you can then say, okay, now I need to deal with it because this is no longer serving me. And so you can have this human experience, but you don't hang on to it. You let it go. You release it. You allow it to just go and be gone. And, you know, that is what's so important. We have this tendency in all aspects of our life, but definitely in healthcare, where we become very reactive. You know, a physician, we feel like a physician's being condescending, or a patient just doesn't understand that we have 7 patients and that we're super busy, or whatever it might be, and we react from our wounds. I do this as a leader. You know, I have people say stuff and all of a sudden I find myself becoming defensive, or I find myself, you know, putting myself in this posture of needing to justify or whatever it might be. That is not the truth of me. That is me responding from the areas of myself that have been in some way, we'll just say, wounded, okay? We've all been through stuff. We've all navigated different things in our lives. And, you know, for many of us, I talk to my nurses about the fact that, you know, we were raised to not rock the boat. We were raised to be seen and not heard. We were raised, you know, all these different ways that at the time when we were 6, 7, 8 years old, they kept us safe, right? You know, don't create this fuss and get everybody upset. You know, don't like just calm down, you know? And at the time it served a purpose. The problem is we carry a lot of that stuff into adulthood. And in adulthood, when we are advocating for patients and we are saving lives and we are doing this incredible, truly heroic work, being seen and not heard, not rocking the boat, it doesn't serve us anymore. Sometimes, in order to do the right thing for our patient, we're going to rock the boat, okay? And so we are here as these conscious caregivers in the best way possible, always keeping what's right for our patients in mind. We're here to rock the boat, y'all, okay? Like, in order to make this shift, we're going to rock the boat. We're not going to be the people pleaser. And it's not out of a place of maliciousness or criticism or judgment. It's out of a place of we see the bigger picture. And that's another part of it, is being able to zoom out and see the bigger picture, because there is just so much going on in the world. There's a lot of light coming onto the planet. I know our mentor Echo was talking about that today. There's a lot of, you know, challenging things happening in the world right now, which I do want to acknowledge and recognize because they're terrifying and they're tragic. But when you can zoom out and see how these unfortunate circumstances are part of the bigger plan, and when you can zoom out and you can see that these things are happening because we do have all of this light and all of these light workers and all of these beautiful things happening to raise the frequency and raise the consciousness of the planet, the darkness is going to be grasping at straws, right? And that's the kind of stuff that's happening right now. What's beautiful about that is we can be reverent, we can acknowledge, we can not bypass, we can focus on and send lots and lots of love and allow ourselves to feel what we need to feel and process what we need to process, with also not getting sucked into this place where we can't move forward, right? And that happens in healthcare all the time. Like, hello, COVID. Like, that's COVID in a nutshell, right? So, so this is really what it's all about. And, the beautiful thing about these conversations is that, Samantha and I are going to be coming in each week, and we're going to kind of talk about an aspect of it, and we're just going to kind of see where it goes. We're going to let it evolve. It may wind and weave a little bit, but we do want to make sure that these transmissions are potent, that they are kind of focused, especially for those of you who might be a little bit new to this work. And we're going to be hosting these videos not only here on Instagram, but we're also going to be hosting them on YouTube, so that there is like a place that you can provide a link, you can send them right to our YouTube channel. You can also, of course, send them to our Instagrams, whatever it might be. And, the bigger picture of all of this is to really bring together a community of conscious caregivers who are dedicated to this work, who are, wanting to come back to self and the truth of who you are, and who are ready to start examining aspects of, what that is and what it looks like and how we make these shifts. And it's going to be super beautiful, and I'm super excited. And I'm just so, this
so
is actually, I've had a group going on for a while, but these conversations were really Samantha's idea. And I feel so blessed that she wanted to do these, because I know truly in her heart she has a passion for her matrescence work. But, as a fellow nurse, she sees the need, and she really wanted to be involved in this project. And I'm just super grateful, because this is truly my passion. My mission is
that comes through. That comes through so much, Jenna. And that's what I love. And that's when you have a conversation with a like-minded person, it's that power and that potency is there. I am going to have to jump off, but I wanted to say as well, to invite our audience, if you're watching live or the recording, that send us what your challenges are at the moment. Like, we both coach and we both mentor in capacities within our professional lives and also in our own entrepreneurial businesses. So please send us like where you're at. What is the one thing that you're really struggling with at the moment? And honestly, we can find answers to that, and it's probably not where you think, and it's not looking like Jenna said it at the wider system, but this is an open community and a safe and nurturing space. And so while we will keep things very positive and not in the low frequencies and not in the complaining energy, we are here for the real stuff, and we're not going to sugarcoat that either. So I just wanted to pop that in there before my children probably ask for some breakfast. So
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that. I am definitely like, my Aries moon is coming in hot. So I love that, Samantha, you just have such this like nurturing, feel to you. And that's another reason why I'm so glad we're doing these together. And she is absolutely right. Like, we are truly here for you. We want to help you, guide you, hold you through the challenges. This is what this community is all about. We cannot do this in isolation, you guys. Healthcare is too challenging to do this in isolation. And we often feel like other people outside of the healthcare community don't always understand the challenges that we face. And so I think it's super important that we create a community of people in the healthcare space who have a desire to grow in this work. Because like, when you start talking about a doctor that's yelling at you, we know what you're talking about. And we can come alongside you right? From a space of understanding. We can come alongside you from a space of having been there and help you walk through it. So that's what this is all about. And so, yes, please feel free to reach out to us. This space is for you guys. This is why we're here, and it's going to be super powerful, and I'm so excited. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jenna. We will be back next Thursday morning Australian Western Standard Time and Wednesday evening Eastern Standard Time. And then we will send links and share links to our YouTube channel once that is all up and running. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too. Thank you, Samantha. I hope you have an amazing day.
Yes, and you have a restful sleep as well.
Thank you. Much love to you.
Bye.
Bye.